So I've got my hiking boots that I haven't used in a very, very long time, and I've left them outside. So I've got to make sure I clean the inside of these to make sure there's nothing big in there like a spider or scorpion. And today I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in a while. Something I need to do is hike the Bejuco Trail. It takes a lot of nerve to stick your hand in your boot when you haven't touched it in a few months. But you don't want a spider or a scorpion to bite you in the foot. You don't want them to bite you in the hand either, but you would prefer, if you're going to get bit, let it be your hand when you're home as opposed to your foot when you're hiking. So why am I hiking the Bejuco this morning? Well, I've noticed that I've been putting on some weight lately. I've been doing a lot of excessive work on the computer, doing video editing and such, and just basically eating whatever I want. And as a result, I put on some weight. I put on probably at least 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks. So I need to exercise every day. If I don't, I just get fatter. I'm never skinny, but I don't like to get. Feeling like I kind of felt when I was in the States. I'm going in that direction. So it's time for a hike up the Bejuco, and I'm going to try to get that into my routine again. And it's a little later than I like to start. I like to start at like at 5:30, and it's just about 6 a.m. now. So, but it's not raining yet, so that's a good thing. So it's always important for me to get it stretched out before I get going. Gotta do some stretches. So anytime you're gonna go out in Costa Rica, you need to prepare. So I've got my water with me. I've applied my sunscreen, even though it doesn't look like it's gonna be a sunny day. When you get out there, you never know what it's gonna be. So sunscreen and water. I've noticed that it seems to take the fitness trackers longer to find the GPS here in Costa Rica. I don't know if it's just the location I'm in, but maybe. Oh, it's good. It picked it up. I picked up my it picked up the GPS fast today, so satellites must be in alignment. It's just a little after 6 a.m. I don't know if it's going to be a sunny day or a cloudy day. Hopefully not too sunny. So I kind of feel like I'm getting back to my roots here, because when I first came here, I would hike this road like 3 times a week. And like the first 3 months I was here, after the first 3 months, I was probably in the best shape that I've been in a long time. And since then, I've slowly put weight back on. And especially like this last 2 weeks, I think in 2 weeks I put on probably 10 pounds. Because I've been spending too much time editing video and just eating what I want. So I'm going to make an effort to change that. You know, I do ride my bicycle on a regular basis, but I've been slacking off on that. So I'm going to try to get this walk in a couple times a week and get steady with my bike. And do less editing on my computer. So there's a lot of construction that goes on here in like Uvita and Bahia, and it's like a new place that's going up since the last time I've hiked this trail. But I noticed that a lot. There's just a lot of little projects going on here. So when hiking up the Bejuco Road, one of the first signs that you're leaving civilization is when you pass the Uvita Beer Garden sign. So that's one of the entrances to the falls here, and that one's a little steeper. When you're hiking on the Bejuco Trail, you have to be able to get out of the way of oncoming vehicles. So your hearing is very important here. Hola, Pero Bravo. Hola, Pero Bravo. I think his bark is worse than his bite. Let's hope so anyways. So they're always working on the infrastructure on the roads and just in general around here. And right here where this small stream goes under the road, they put in a new culvert since the last time I've been here. And really, it may seem like that huge culvert is overkill for the situation here because it's a small stream. But the culvert needs to be that big because when it rains here, that stream turns into a huge torrent. So that's just the appropriate size culvert for that stream. So it's about 1.5 miles in for me where the Calle Bejuco Road starts. I like to call it the Bejuco Highway because it just sounds so much cooler. Let's get going onward and upward on the Bejuco Highway. Isn't that clever? The Bejuco Highway. So if you're new to Costa Rica and you're not familiar with a lot of the flora and fauna here, and you want to go hiking, a good choice is just to find a road and dirt road and hike on it because it's cleared, so you don't have to worry about bumping into a snake. So that's a steep section with a nice little turn in it, and that's a monocongo. But it's a little hairy in a vehicle if you're not used to it, which I'm not used to it. But for some people, it's just everyday commute. And you'll see on a lot of these mountain roads, there's like a little berm. That berm's no accident. It's there to divert the water because of when it rains, there tends to be little rivers of water coming down the road, and there's a turn right there. So if the water was allowed to go where it wanted to go, it would just like smash into the bank and make a mess. So what they've done, they've got it diverted so it goes either way, the water. A lot of little ingenious tactics they use here to keep the roads good despite the massive amounts of weather and rain they get here. So just about 2 miles into my hike up the Bejuco Highway is where I get my first glimpse of the ocean. Some days the view is better than others, and but it's always kind of a milestone, and I always make sure at this point, whether I'm thirsty or not, to drink some water. And it's usually a matter of I'm ready to drink some water, so stay hydrated. Small bees nest up there. So be careful when you're moving leaves. Could be a bee's nest attached to it. So even up here on the mountain, crime is still something people think about. As for example, we've got a sign is basically saying there's a community watch, neighborhood watch for bad behavior. So what happens sometimes up here, especially if somebody's gone from their house for any length of time, people take advantage of that and break in. So this little waterfall is one of my favorite spots on the hike up. It's nothing grand, but it's just such a little refreshing little place. And this is one of my favorite parts of this hike, is just when you get up to this part, it's kind of a little bit of a summit, and you can take a look out there, and it's just a beautiful view. You see the waterfall in the distance. And my friend Dainier's coffee plantation is right over there. So maybe if I yell, he can hear me. Not really. But this is a beautiful, magical spot, and I recently saw on Facebook that this lot is for sale, and there's actually a road over there that wasn't there. So there's development going on everywhere. And I guess that's a good and a bad thing, right? Yeah, the view is well worth the hike. No doubt about it. That is the Pacific, to be specific. So this is the reward at mile 4 up the mountain. So if the tide was low, you'd see it better, but there's the whale tail out there. This is definitely one of the best views of the whale tail around. And it's, you enjoy it even more when you know that you had to hike up here. Like every footstep I got up here was on my own. And that's Uvita down there that you see the red buildings and the tower. That's where Cebu is, and Supermercado Pacifico. And a lot of times when you come up hiking on these mountain roads, you'll notice there's little wells here that supply water to the few houses that are here along the way. So it's making noise, so you can tell that somebody's using their water up here somewhere along the pipeline. Muy interesante. But my least favorite part of hiking these roads is going back down, because not only do you give up your view, you're no longer seeing this beautiful view. There's just a lot of impact. You know, every step coming down, wow. So yeah, it's a lot of work getting up, but on the way down, it's kind of dangerous. You just have to watch your footing. But here's the view of the ocean. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah. So here's a little spot with a beautiful view of the ocean. It's been kind of pushed off. I don't know if they're planning on building a small house here or what, but there's a beautiful view of the ocean. And one kind of a sad thing about up here, there was a lot of development going on. And you can see, like, in the distance, in the short distance here, there's a lot of red clay. That's all new road down there, because that land's been put on the market. I love it up here, the sounds that you can hear. This is my love-hate relationship with a GoPro. It says it has 25% left, and then it just cuts out because it says there's no battery. I was never really great in math, but 25% left does not mean the battery's dead. But according to the GoPro, it is.